So in this video, we're going to be looking at independent artist strategies and talking about the different types of fans that we can build. So hi, I'm Barry. I'm known as Cyber Monday, a synth pop artist, and I've been making music since the age of 8, so it's been a long time. But I wanted to go through the different types of people that check out our music. So first of all, from the lower point of view, we've got streams, okay? So we've got streaming services. Now, we know, for example, for Spotify, that you have to have at least 1,000 streams to earn 0.003 cents. So in terms of revenue, that's not a great strategy. However, what it does bring us is discovery. Okay. Now, below that, what we've also got are things like social media services, such as TikTok. So I'm going to put down here social media. And again, it's great for discovery. If you want to get your music out there, you may want to do Facebook ads, whatever, for that social media. Now, back in the days of iTunes and, for example, current days such as Bandcamp and various other platforms as well, you're able to still purchase music, which a lot of people don't realise, but you can. You can still charge for your music as much as you want, whether that's $1 a track or, say, for an album you want to do that. So that is really good in terms of revenue. So I'm going to put on here, I'm going to call this the purchase track model, and I'm going to have a different colour for this. Purchase track model. Okay. Now, as I said, it may not be the best for discovery, okay, but what it does give you is it can reward you, say, $1 per track. And that is a really good model to consider. What else do we have? Well, we've also got things such as collectibles. Now, these could be in the form of NFTs on the blockchain, and it's great for artists and fans because fans can get unlockable content. So they may get like unreleased material, or they might get a ticket. And for the artists, it's brilliant because they can charge what they want and they can have a limited amount of editions. So you've got limited editions, you've got proof of ownership, and also unlockable content. Now, in terms of discovery, you will have Web3 people in the space, really excited, and particularly if there's a bull market. Currently, we're still in a bear market. I think the biggest problem with the collectibles on the blockchain is the fact that if I, as an artist, wanted to release my song as an NFT, and you'd have the artwork and you'd have, say, the WAV file or MP3, when you actually mint that on the blockchain, that doesn't entirely go on the blockchain. It actually goes to maybe a decentralized server or maybe a centralized server. And that wasn't always obvious when I was featuring NFT platforms. So a lot of artists, because of that, have become a bit disheartened because it doesn't feel as though they're really releasing music on the blockchain, because if the server goes down, the music goes down. If it's centralized, that's certainly the case. For decentralized, it's a lot more complicated. I think one of the biggest problems that artists face is the fact that we have third parties. We have TikTok for social media, we have Facebook, we have X, we have Instagram. And what do they provide us? Nothing. Fat zero. And what they will say is, oh, but we're letting you get discovered. So, for example, discovery is all you guys care about because then you can take them to where you want. But hang on a minute, that's not the case, because everybody that likes me on Facebook, they don't get the email address sent to me as an artist and then I can add them to the mailing list. That's not what happens. So that's not a great strategy. And if you're paying for ads on social media, well, you're making them richer, you're getting more likes and more people interested in your music, but you've got to then take them somewhere else. The social media platforms want you and your fans to stay on their platform because that's how they make money. So from an artist's point of view, it's not the best strategy. Streaming is great for discovery. For example, Spotify. Like, yes, we've now got the caveat that we have to make 1,000 streams per song per year in order to make any money off any of our tracks. And some artists are having their music taken down. Spotify is saying it's because of bots, or the digital distributors are saying that, when in actual fact that's not always the case. Again, we've got the third party, which are the streaming services. And like Marquee, like some of the services that Spotify allow for marketing your music, again, are you going to get email addresses at the end of it? No. They want you to keep streaming music and putting music up on there, and you won't be paid for it unless you get over 1,000 streams per year. And the same with the fans. It's not a good deal for artists. What I think is a better deal is actually having what I called the purchase track model. I love Bandcamp because I think Bandcamp is a fantastic tool for musicians. You've got the own people trying to be discovered on there. They're interested in certain genres of music. They'll go on there and that's what they'll be interested in. There's other websites like Artcore has recently popped up. I was putting my music on there last night. You can charge what you want, which is brilliant. So I think that's a good strategy for artists because you actually get paid what you feel the tracks are worth. And I think that's great. However, this discovery isn't always the best. Collectibles, NFTs. Well, Bitcoin has been enhancing the opportunity to actually mint on the blockchain, but the file sizes are extremely small unless you use a layer 2. And it's generally only Web3 people. I mean, a great platform that I use is sound.xyz. That is a fantastic Web3 music platform, but it's become oversaturated. And again, sound.xyz is a third party. So the purchase track model is great. Again, you've got platforms, you've got third parties. But that is still a good opportunity. I still love Bandcamp. I think it's fantastic. So we've talked about social media, streaming, purchase track models and collectibles. We've missed something. We've missed something really important. We have missed the fan club. Now, the fan club is done in a few different ways. Bandcamp have a fan club. I, as Cyber Monday, have a fan club where people can pay £9 or $9. They get access to every single track that I've ever produced, including tracks before they're even released. That's a brilliant model. These are your hardcore fans. Now, that's not offered at the moment with social media. That's not offered on platforms such as Spotify. It is, however, available on some of the purchase track model platforms, such as Bandcamp. And some would say that people collecting NFTs are in fact fans. So the fan club is really what we need to do. And this fan club is what generates the most revenue. Now there's different ways to do that. As I say, you've got a purchase track model where the fans can connect to the club. Streaming, it doesn't happen. Social media, it doesn't happen. But I would also say the collectible market definitely does cover your fans. And even some of the platforms did give you the email addresses as well, which is really cool. Or if not, at least their wallet addresses in Web3. So that's really cool. But if we think about this a bit more logically, if we can find a way to send all of the fans on social media to the fan club, we can do the same with streaming to the fan club to the fan club and collectibles to the fan club. Then we're really onto something, because that's when we can sell merch, that's when we can sell our tracks, that's when we can sell a subscription model. And if you're going down this route, this becomes a business. And that's what's really important. Now, if as an artist you've only got one track, so you've only got one track, are your fans going to go there? No, I don't think they are. Are they going to pay $5, $9 a month to go there? No, they're not. What if you've got 200 tracks? Yeah. And let's say only 50 of those are released. So that would give you 150 unreleased tracks for your fans. So they've found you on Spotify. No, they found you on Spotify. And you tell them on Spotify in the description, for example, that there's a fan club and to please consider joining it. Maybe a free trial, and then they can go straight to there. Now, some of the artists on watching this video will be like, well, hang on a minute. I haven't got 200 tracks. Well, if you think about it logically, every track that you release, let's say you got vocals on that track, you're going to have instrumentals, you're going to have a demo, you might have an alternative version, you might have a remix. Just from one track, you could have 5 different editions of one track. So on that basis, to have 200 tracks, you'd only need 40 tracks. And if you're anything like me, as soon as you start producing more and more music, you end up having to really organise it all. Now, in terms of the fan club, this can be done via various different methods. So we can have it on a website, we can have it by the purchase track model, such as Bandcamp. But have a think about what I've said about third parties. The real strategy is about cutting out the middleman and trying to do that yourself. Now, if you don't have the expertise or the finances, then that may not be possible, in which case you want to go down the Bandcamp route, because that way it's already set up. You just configure a few things, put all of the tracks down to fan club mode when you release them, and then they're already in the vault, as it were. And this vault is something that I've been really interested in recently, because this vault, your vault of all of your music, of all of those unreleased tracks you haven't released, but you've got all the demos, all the remixes, all the alternative versions, and all the instrumentals, and that is what fans really want. That's what they desire to hold. So if you're just doing social media and streaming, it's not going to be enough, because it's not going to be a good business model. You're not going to earn enough. The barrier of entry has already been raised. Now, streaming, I will also include YouTube, because YouTube is a great platform. However, also, it's got a barrier of entry. You have to have 4,000 watch hours, and you have to have 1,000 subscribers just to even be monetized. And that's harder than it is with the likes of Spotify. But as I was saying, streaming and social media is not enough. But a combination of those two, as well as considering a purchase track model and Web3 collectibles via a fan club, is the way forward. And that's where we can actually earn decent revenue, because from there we can sell merch, we can sell the limited editions, the unreleased tracks, you can give away free tickets for your tour, you can have one-to-one meetings, whatever it takes. And I would say that Web3 isn't enough because that doesn't include the Web2 people. So by having a Web3 space and a Web2 fan club is probably the best way forward. And I'd also have a think about getting people's email addresses. On the front of your website, if you do have a website, you should straight away have, say, a MailChimp link, so that a fan who's interested in your music has gone onto social media and they think, oh, I like this music, that's really good. Or they've gone onto streaming services, so they've gone onto TikTok or whatever, or Spotify, and they've then found your website. As soon as they go onto that website, you want to capture that email address. Because as soon as you capture that email address, you can include them on the mailing list and then introduce them to the fan club. It's a lot to consider as a musician, but you have to really open your mind into all of these possibilities to understand what's the potential of running a business, an artist business. So there you have it, guys. Hope you like this video. Speak to you on the next one. Take care. Bye. And the purchase track model to the all of these, whoops.